Hello everyone and welcome to Up Supercast, the only podcast that does not recommend you go swimming right now. I'm your host Muzzy, and joining me today is Brandon.
But we got other ways to go swimming, if you know what I mean.
Ills.
I'm allergic to water.
And Saf.
I'm very scared by what Brandon means. What does he mean?
What does he mean? Well, you see, Saf. Well, before we get into that, how's everyone doing? How's everyone
Doing great.
doing?
Thanks for asking.
You're welcome. Wow, that is not an answer I expected from you.
I guess, and now I have to say I'm terrible.
Yeah, just to bring balance, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're leaning too much towards the positive. Oh man,
So cool.
it's just,
Awesome.
yeah, I didn't
It's
expect
summer
that
now.
answer.
It's officially summer. It's it's lockdown. It's summertime. Feeling a little clammy and a little sweaty and gross, and
Yeah.
kind of still stuck. in the
Yeah, it's
house.
a weird summer, right?
Yeah.
Not really, no.
Oh my god.
Not too different for us.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. There have been people just been accumulating over fucking parks and beaches and shit like that, and this fucking government is in Scotland are trying to kick them out of fucking places.
Yeah, I
great.
mean, I think a lot of people had hopes about by summer everything would clear over. Clearly, that's not the case. But
Let's just burn down all the parks and beaches. Come on.
We should just maybe that's the answer. However,
They're racist anyway.
they probably are. However, you can go to the beach in Animal Crossing New Horizons. You see, as of the update on July 3rd, there's a free summer update coming. And you're going to be able to swim in your water all across your island. You're going to be able to dive and get new sea creatures to add to your aquarium. That's a lot of fun. There's going to be a new visitor, Pascal, which I believe he was in previous games, right?
Yeah, he was. He was in New Leaf, and the swimming thing was also in New Leaf as well.
Yes,
But,
yes. And
yeah.
so this is
Getting
like
added.
not new for the
Recycled content.
series, I guess, but new for New Horizons.
Mhm.
And with Pascal, he has a whole set of mermaid-themed DIY recipes to add to your collection. So that's fun. And then Gulliver shows up. He's already in the game, but he'll be looking a little bit more like a pirate. And when he shows up on your shore like that, he'll be giving you a different kind of reward than he usually does. So that's fun. But that's not all
Pretty
Nintendo
random.
says, because another summer update is planned for release early August. So a month later, we're going to get the Wave 2 of the summer update. So that's not all,
baby.
folks. So it's exciting. What do you guys think? Brandon, I guess you're the only one who really cares about Animal Crossing, so you're probably the only one who has thoughts here.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is, I guess when the game first came out, right, there was obviously some people who had played New Leaf that said, like, where's Brewster's? How come I can't, do the swimming thing in this game or whatever, and like, where's Red? So Red's obviously been added in the update. The swimming thing is coming to update. And I like this, actually. I think this is a very good way to keep people engaged in the game and keep them playing. And, and also, of course, the seasonal events get added in through updates as well to stop people from time traveling and say, like, oh, yeah, I just came from Christmas time. I got all the Christmas stuff, none of that's in the game.
It prevents
and, like,
people
all
from
this
getting
stuff,
spoiled.
adding it through updates, it just keeps you playing. It is it's a very smart idea, honestly.
Yeah, it's
and
a
they're just
good
doing a good
incentive,
job.
right? It's a good incentive to be like, oh, hey, they added something new. Let me hop back in if maybe you took a break from Animal Crossing or stopped playing or whatever, right? This is a good way to get you back going. Or even for the people who are playing still, right? It gives
and even if you play every single day, like me, like it's like it gives you something to look forward to, it's exciting.
The way you describe this, it sounds like Splatoon, where it's like they're showing off like little small updates, like periodically, just to keep people engaged. Is that what it basically is?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And that makes sense, right? Because the Animal Crossing team is the same as the Splatoon team.
Yeah, same team.
Right?
All right.
And so I imagine between New Leaf and now, it's been a while since then, right? And in the meantime, they made 2 Splatoon games, and they've learned a lot about these kind of content rollouts in the meantime, right? And so using that experience from Splatoon, I imagine that helps a lot in Animal Crossing. They know exactly what makes people tick, what is enough for an update without overwhelming people, etc. I like this model for Animal Crossing.
I think it is. I agree. I like what they're doing.
It's especially nice because, Animal Crossing traditionally, anyway, there's a lot of features in the previous games as well that would slowly roll out, not over content updates, right? But just depending on how long you've been in your village and the season and all that, these things would roll out over the course of a year anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so... just making it so that, hey, we all are discovering these things together, I think is just a lot of fun. So, cool stuff. And I imagine, by the end of... I assume we're going to get a full year of updates. By the end of this, Animal Crossing should look like a brand new game, right?
I think we're probably going to get, even more than a year.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, we'll see.
It's going to be at least a year.
It's a monster, right? People, this thing is selling like crazy. Probably will be the biggest release of the year, right? Probably one of Nintendo's biggest releases, period.
How much more have they sold of this game compared to the other games?
I will tell you in August when we get a quarterly update. But spoilers, it's gonna be a lot.
Is there more than all of them combined already? Or something
there's a decent chance.
We don't have first week figures or anything like that.
It's already the highest.
We have the first 10, 11 days or so of sales, right?
All right. Okay.
That we reported on a couple weeks back here, but it's almost certainly when we get the next quarterly update. So the sales by the end of June, it's almost certainly going to be the second best-selling Switch game already, more than Smash.
Fucking hell, man.
So it's a lot. Big deal, this Animal Crossing game. Anyway, moving on from Animal Crossing though, this is a little taste of what's to come. But we have other content updates to talk about, believe it or not. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate got a big old presentation. Yeah, about a presentation to finally deliver us that ARMS character that they teased back in March in that Direct Mini. They told us someone from ARMS is coming. People said, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Springman? He's the main character. Is it going to be Twintail? She's really popular. Is it going to be Min Min? The answer was Min Min.
Wow.
It is
really
Min Min.
Surprised us with that one.
Yeah. I'm sure you've all heard the news by now, and I think I want to talk about maybe why he added, he mentioned why, and I think it's kind of funny, but I think there's more to it.
They're all
than
main
that.
characters, that's why.
Well, yeah, so Sakurai said, you may have thought I would have added Springman, but according to the producer, they're all main characters. But even more than that, I guess I wanted to hear you guys' general impressions on Min Min. So we got her, he detailed her moveset completely, showed off the stage that comes with her, announced some new Mii costumes, which we'll get to. But yeah, what are your kind of general impressions about Min Min?
Sakurai did it again. What can you say?
Yeah.
Fucking master.
Personally, I would have preferred Twintail, but I'm super okay with Min Min. Min Min's just a really good alternative. It was obviously the most popular, which is fine, and they still capture the essence of ARMS. That was my main concern. It's how are they going to balance someone with such long fucking reach? Whose whole fucking design is to be fucking long reach. And it seems like they've managed to figure something out.
And surprise, surprise, right? Masahiro Sakurai once again found a way to just... I think this is... In terms of, implementing the game's mechanics into Smash, this may be his finest work yet, right? This is... You're just playing ARMS, essentially.
Wait, you gotta play the game first. Hold up.
Huh?
You gotta play him first. Maybe he fucked up.
Maybe, that's true. But from how he described her moveset and the footage we saw, it seems like a pretty good implementation of the actual game. She's very unique in terms of Smash characters. She's very unique, right? the A button controls her left arm and the B button controls her right arm, which is very different from how normal Smash characters play, right? It's not really... You do have some special moves. You have your up special and your down special, and you can still smash attack, right? With both arms, though. A button still controls your tilt attacks, but she's very different from into the rest of the cast, though. Even if you haven't played ARMS, I think it's a cool addition to the cast, right? Because she's just so different from everyone else.
It seems like she outranges Belmont now.
I bet she does. She almost certainly does. Which makes sense, right? I mean, it's funny because like the Belmonts, right? You would think that would be the longest, but like, hey, arms, like her arms are very long.
She literally covers both sides of the fucking stage, which is absolutely
insane. When you have both arms, which you can attack at the same time, that's quite the range.
Yeah, I like that. I like that you can cover both your front and back at the same time. It's very cool.
It
seems like they've balanced it pretty well from what I've seen, like with the different types of arms that you can switch between.
Yes.
Like the obviously the biggest heavy hitting one, the big steel balls,
the megawatt.
Yeah, you have to. They're very slow, so they're easy to dodge, but they're if they do hit you, it's kind of like I mean, we saw it KO Mario at 40%, which is
supercharged, but yeah,
all the way charged, but still, it's like, whoa, that's a powerful arm, right?
But then the other ones seem, pretty weak. They're faster and they have good range, but it doesn't seem like you're going to be doing a ton of damage. So it seems, pretty balanced.
Yeah, I mean, balance is a tricky thing, right? And that's something we definitely have to see in game for ourselves.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Well, just in terms of balance, I feel like it's fair to say, ARMS is pretty well represented here. I don't think that's a stretch.
Yeah,
I don't think you need to play the game for that.
I wasn't saying it wasn't well
But-
represented, but yeah, I get you.
it feels like a character that was like people who are like into like very technical play would love to play as. Like from all the mechanics that she has, I feel so that
She's a lot going on. It's, people wondered, what do you do with an ARMS character? Well, plenty, apparently. One of the most complex characters yet. I think the choice of Min Min in particular is interesting because, first of all, hey, she's the first, just woman by herself, no alt costume or anything. She's just a woman on the DLC. That's the first one we've gotten. That's cool.
Finally.
And I think it's interesting because a lot of people expected Springman, right? A lot of people expected Springman because he's the main character, because he's not the main character, but we assumed he was because he's on the box art.
He's
right?
He's the face, yeah.
And so they kind of swerved, but she makes sense in a lot of ways, I think, because she won the in-game Party Crash events that they did. Basically, they did a whole bracket, Splatfest style of who's the most popular character, and Min Min won. She was the winner of that contest, and on top of that, I think in terms of her Smash. In terms of how well she translates the Smash, I think she just has a lot of her characteristics. I think just made her a very natural fit for Smash, right? Because her three different arms are very clearly delineate in their uses, right? One is, like you said, one is a big heavy thing. One is a short. One's a quick thing that has longer reach, and then one is a standard your dragon arm, but also has a projectile with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she also has a lot of unique abilities and I think they utilize, because a lot of people were also thinking with an ARMS character, oh, well, they all kind of play the same, so why not just do a bunch in one, kind of like the Dragon Quest hero, right? But they utilized Min Min's unique ability, to their credit, they utilized the unique abilities of Min Min to the most possible that they could, right? Like, she uses her kicks that she has in the game, right? She has multiple different kick attacks. She has her unique dragon arm, which after she grabs and throws an opponent, her left arm becomes stronger, right? More powerful. And she also I forget what else. And then just her unique arms just have the best balance. And plus, her left hand staying as a dragon arm means that there's always something to grab things, right? Which they even thought of little things like that. Yeah, so with all of that, like they really like this is Min, right? This is not just a generic ARMS character. They did a very good job of, hey, this is representing the game of ARMS, right? But this is also this is Min in particular, and I think that's a very cool thing for them to do. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they got a good idea. They've done well in like representing like what ARMS is as a game, while also representing the uniqueness of Min, which is like something that you've kind of learned to expect from Sakurai when he goes into like creating these DLC characters or creating any character in general, which is
never lose. He always wins.
Yeah. Always wins. That Master Sakurai, and it just gave us a good reason to be like, okay, this is why it's not a multi-select character, right?
Yeah.
Which is good. I like that. And hey, maybe
speaking of Sakurai never losing, what about that man's TV setup? Huh?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Holy crap.
Let's talk about it. So he recorded this presentation from his home, right? Which was, obviously because COVID-19, everything going on, it can't be in the studio. And we got a picture of it. We got a little glimpse at his home setup. He's got two big old TVs, which are different size, which kind of annoys me, but whatever, Sakurai. He's mentioned before he uses them to
watch stuff and play video games at the same time.
Yeah, he watches TV and play video games at the same time, or if he has people over, each person gets their own screen.
Man after my own heart.
Yeah, literally what I do as well. Fuck my life.
That's actually what when my friend comes over, he brings his Xbox, then I bring my second TV out from my bedroom, and we just put them next to each other and we just play multiplayer like that. Even though we could just easily play like co-op split screen, we're just like, nah, dog. Let's both have our own TVs.
Let's have our own TVs. Why not? Yeah, that's the way to do it. And then he's got a bajillion consoles. Every current gen console, a couple last gen, including the PS3. I think there's both a slim and a fat PS3 in there.
Yeah, he had both, and he has both a PS4 and a PS4 Pro.
PS4 and PS4 Pro. He's got a One X. He's got a bunch of mini consoles. Right.
He had a little PlayStation snuggly passed in like the corner.
Yeah, a little PlayStation.
Yeah, he has like all the mini consoles.
And he's got NES. He's got both the Super Nintendo and the Super Famicom Mini.
Yeah, and they have different games. So, I mean, I was actually going to ask, do you think Sakurai mods any of his consoles? But the fact that he has both the NES and the Famicom, Super Famicom one, or the Super NES, Super Famicom, it's like he probably doesn't.
No, I don't. Yeah, I think he's a guy who tries to play on original hardware as much as humanly possible. Which is he's a crazy man. And his cable management, dear lord, it's so clean.
It is so clean. Makes me look like a fucking piece of shit in comparison.
I do not believe he lives like that. I believe this has all been cleaned up. Like he's every fucking Daisy parent. Like he just, as soon as he knows people are coming in, he just cleans up the entire fucking house just to make it look presentable.
I mean, that's what we all do. First of all,
I actually believe he lives like that.
No, I
do too.
From his Famitsu columns, I can say this is a pretty accurate depiction of that man's lifestyle.
He seems like a perfectionist.
Yes, for sure. And that comes through in Smash itself, right?
Yeah.
So like this is a man who's so like, I mean, video games is the thing he talks about most by far, right? And he just, if you read his Famitsu columns, like it all just matches up. Like he's a guy who's super into like, collecting everything. He has a ridiculous collection of things. He's talked about his setup before and how he had to intricately make sure how everything was set up and just like, he goes into a lot of detail about that kind of stuff, and it's pretty neat look into like, oh well, this is. It's good that a guy working on Super Smash Bros. In particular, which is a crossover game, right? Mm-hmm. A guy like this, he's so passionate about like so many different franchises, so many different games, and just it just shows with that guy. So look, Masahiro Sakurai. There are some other little tidbits in there. We got to look at the new stage, Spring Stadium, that Min comes with. I think it's fairly unique by Smash standards. There's like little springboards, but they're not just automatic. You have to jump on them and they propel you forward, right? Yeah. It's got a little arch, so if you hit the ceiling, it'll bounce you back down.
That's very fun.
Sounds like a fun casual stage, so I'm kind of looking forward to that as well. Basically, all the music in ARMS is here. I love when Sakurai shills the music. He's like, hey, for $5.99, you get all this music? That alone is worth it. I'm like, yeah, thank you, Sakurai.
100%.
What a deal. Yeah, so I thought that was a fun little thing. Oh, in the stage, in the background, there's like a giant TV screen and it kind of shows the ARMS fighters throughout, right? It's just pretty neat. And Min Min's Final Smash, a bunch of the characters in the ARMS roster show up to help her, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of Mega Man style, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and ARMS, man, I love ARMS, and so, getting this game so well represented, it just makes me really, really happy. I'm just ecstatic. Comes out Monday, the day that this recording is out, actually. We will be playing Min Min.
Yeah. We'll be playing.
Are you even listening?
Yeah, I think it's good that ARMS got in as a DLC because it's one of the games that, like, I think Sakurai mentioned he wanted to put in.
Yeah, he outright mentioned, hey, if I had more time, I would have put an ARMS character and a Xenoblade 2 character in the game, right?
Yeah.
Which, does that mean Xenoblade 2's next?
Maybe they'll save it for number 6 and everybody will be real mad.
Nah, they're gonna include Elma. Everything's gonna be fine.
Oh,
yeah. Besides that, we got some Mii costumes. None of them are too important. There's Ninjara and there's Callie and Marie from Splatoon. We got before I get to the big one, what else was there?
Heihachi.
Oh,
Heihachi,
huh? Yeah, Heihachi's in there from Tekken, and then we got Volt Boy from Fallout.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
That is, hey, Bethesda's in the game now.
Yeah.
When you include, like, especially is already just a ridiculous crossover, but when you include spirits and Mii costumes, there's nothing even compares, right? Like,
Yeah, to like just all the different series represented, like even with, especially like even spirits and Mii costumes, like there's crazy shit. Like Resident Evil's represented now, and like just things that you wouldn't even expect.
Even stuff like the Mana series is represented in spirits now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's crazy. Like they keep adding more and more spirits. It's just, I don't know how any crossover could even come close to touching Smash Ultimate.
No.
It is a ridiculous game. Alright, well, that's enough of Smash. Like I said, once you're hearing this, you can probably download it already, so look forward to that. We got one more bit of Nintendo news. A lot of Nintendo news this week. Not much else, to be honest. Let's see. There was Pokemon Presents. So we had one last week, right? And at the end of that one, they announced a new presentation for a big new project. What could that be, people asked. And a lot of people were saying, let's go JoJo. A lot of people were saying Diamond Pro Remix. I think, to our credit, we pretty much shot both of those ideas down last week, right?
Oh yeah,
but
you could hope, in a way. But
hope.
Also, if you were being realistic,
yeah, I mean,
I think it was very obvious what the answer was going to be.
Yes.
And I think the biggest problem is a lot of people didn't say, oh, what's the game going to be? They said, it's going to be this or this, and if it's not, we're going to be pissed. And it's
we're going to be so mad, and that's what happened, isn't it? Pokemon Unite was announced, and this is a game made by Tencent. It is a MOBA game. However, they refused to call it a MOBA in the video, but it's a MOBA.
Yeah.
So it plays like League of Legends, plays like Dota 2, right? Specifically, it's made by Tencent's Timmy Studios, which is a huge studio by Tencent. They have over 3,000 employees. They make a shit ton of games, including some of the most popular mobile games, period. Including a mobile game called Honor of Kings? I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, yes. They're a very successful studio. They know how to make money on mobile. Pokemon makes a lot of money. Maybe if you combine the two, it will make a lot of money. This is coming to Switch and mobile, both. It is a free-to-play game. They didn't give us a date. They didn't even give us a year. So, who knows when this will come out?
Right.
Yeah.
But it is a 5v5 team battle. You got your towers. You got your... It's a MOBA. It's just a MOBA. right? Yeah. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on Pokemon?
I am
Unite?
looking forward to a less toxic Dota or League
Good
of
luck.
Legends fucking thing.
Hey,
Or just an
no
easier one
voice
to
chat
just
might be an
play.
actual selling point in this one.
Yeah. I mean, no
Your
voice
teammates
chat
can't
and
be
limited
toxic
text
to you.
chat.
I think it's a smart decision overall. I like the idea. I'm definitely not going to play it, but I mean, it seems cool.
I mean, I'm kind of open to trying it because, hey, MOBAs have always been too complicated for me.
Yeah. Same.
Especially on PC, a keyboard and mouse, I'm just like, what am I doing? Right? A mobile game designed for controller and being a Pokemon game and being designed for children will probably make this game pretty easy to understand, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. I will be able to finally understand how a mobile game plays.
Yeah,
Gonna beat up all the
I'm
10-year-olds?
gonna try it. One, because it's free. Well, actually, one, because it's Pokemon. Two, because it's free. And then three, I mean, it's on the Switch, so that was like my biggest thing. As soon as they announced it, I was like, okay, I hope it's on the Switch. And then it was, so
It's on the
all
Switch.
right. I'm definitely gonna at least give it a shot now to see what's going on. So
Yeah. So for 11-minute presentation, to be honest, they didn't give much details. We saw very little footage, including one full match, I guess, but like it was kind of hard to tell what it was. I don't know, it was a MOBA.
It feels like Talonflame. Come on. Couldn't follow.
Yeah, the roster's kind of interesting, isn't it? So there's 10 characters revealed so far. 8 of them are from Gen 1.
Gen
Which-
1.
believe
Okay,
it.
Gen
Wow.
1's a very popular generation, right?
know it.
Lucario. Okay, Lucario is one of the most popular Pokemon, period. Right? And then Talonflame.
The boy. We're
Now, of
happy you
course,
got in.
we probably should not expect this to be the full roster, right? I wouldn't even
Right.
think this is the full roster at launch, but forget launch. This is a mobile game. This is going to get characters every other month or so, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, I
doesn't
don't
a
know
mobile
exactly
game
what the pace
like
will be, but
really need like a ton of characters to be, like balanced and good? you know?
Yeah.
yeah, like, well, because like, for example, right now, League of Legends. Let's find out how many characters there are.
Good luck
A
with that.
lot.
It's got to be over 100, right?
There's 148 playable characters in League of
Okay,
Legends as of today.
How many
I
I
costumes?
mean, and with Pokemon, 148 is a fucking drop in the bucket.
Yeah, there's a big pool to pull from. Oh, I should mention a cool gimmick of this game, I think. So you start out as the smallest form of that evolution, right? So you started as a
Well,
Charmander.
Not always.
Unless you're
Oh, not
Pikachu.
always. Okay.
Because you do not start off as fucking Munchlax.
Oh,
And you
okay.
don't
You don't
start
start
as
as
fucking
Mudflash. You just
Pichu
go to
either.
Starland.
I
But
think Racing
Do you not
Pichu
start as
from history.
Pichu? Do you start as Talonflame's first evolution, though?
I think you do. I think you start as.
You start off as
actually.
Ghastly? I didn't see a Ghastly running around.
I'm not sure. So I don't know if this is the gimmick for all the characters, but at least for some of them, like for like the Kanto starters, right? Charizard,
Yeah.
Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur. You start out as their base forms. You start out as Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur, and you evolve in match, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you level up, you evolve, and I think that's a cool little Pokemon spin, right? Though it should be mentioned, despite it being a Pokemon game, there's not type advantages in this game. So water does not beat fire, for example.
They kind of had to do that.
Yeah, I think for balancing reasons you had to. Otherwise, there's hard counter picks, right?
Exactly.
And so that's for the best. I guess I want to talk about the reaction a little bit because
God.
I mean,
This
it's the
is-
same thing every time, guys. Come on.
I know, but this is the most disliked YouTube video in Nintendo or Pokemon's entire YouTube channels by far.
By far, oh my god. A new level.
It got a vehemently negative reaction on social media, I would say. And I'm just kind of confused as to why, to be honest with you.
This is apparently not a great year for Pokemon fans, I guess.
I mean, neither was last year, right?
Yeah.
Last year, I mean, what? It's weird to say about this year, though, right? Because just last week, we got the most fan-requested spin-off, the most fan-requested thing in the franchise, quite frankly. In Pokemon Snap, right? We're getting a new Pokemon Snap game. But because this got its own, I think part of the backlash, I guess, is that this got its own presentation. So people thought it would be something big. And to be fair to Pokemon Company, this will be something big in the market. Right?
Yeah.
But, and partnering with Tencent is a big deal, right?
Well,
but
I think that's the other side of people being mad.
A lot of people are upset about Tencent in particular, because Tencent has ties to the Chinese Communist Party. They're very close to the Chinese government. Though I will say, I do think a lot of people, it's a lot easier to hate a foreign company for a lot of people, and this is just from my view, feel like a lot of people are using Tencent just as a scapegoat to morally justify something they were going to hate no matter what.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good point.
are they truly hating it for that reason, or is it because it's Pokemon? And
if Tencent was making a AAA Pokemon game of their dreams, would people be upset? I honestly don't think so.
Or if anybody else was making this game, and it was just
they would
Pokemon
still hate it.
Yeah,
right?
I don't understand.
If Nintendo themselves was making this game, they would be pissed off, right?
Yeah. So they're going to be pissed no matter what. I mean, one of the things I saw an article posted about, Pokemon Unite angers Pokemon fans around the globe. And then my favorite comment that I read on Twitter all day was, a leaf falling in the wrong direction could anger a Pokemon fan. Man, that is, you're not wrong, buddy.
Pokemon fans are very easily set off, And I just, even before this presentation happened, I don't know why anyone was expecting any mainline game. There was just no reason to, right? Because the big mainline games, first of all, we just got a game last year, right?
Yeah.
And as is, people are already upset. They're like, oh, Game Freak doesn't need to do annual, blah, blah, blah. So they're not doing a new game this year, right? Instead, they're doing large-scale DLC. That is the big Pokemon release for the year, right?
Yeah.
So why would you expect Game Freak to already announce their next mainline game? I just cannot fathom. Because, all the expectations I saw, none of them included any sort of spin-off. It was either Let's Go Johto or Diamond and Pearl Remake. And it was
games that would be developed by Game
Freak.
Which goes against their own complaints of Game Freak always rushes their games, and then they want a game less than a year later. It's like, what the fuck, dude? I don't
know why anyone was expecting that. There was no reason to expect that, And also, I don't know, when did we flip back on Let's Go that now people want Let's Go Johto? Last time I checked, Let's Go is very hated in the fan base.
Yeah, I don't even like Let's Go. So, what the fuck? I didn't hate it, but...
So suddenly now people want more Let's Go games? I don't... Just so they can get mad again?
Trying to understand it is a fucking exercise of futility.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I know.
Yeah, bro, if it was Let's Go, people would be mad too. Come on.
I don't know. I just feel like this game is getting a lot of undue hate. It doesn't have to be for you, right? You got Pokemon Snap last week. We're getting DLC this year.
That's such an important thing to know. Not every game is for you. Right? Shut up.
I think that's a lesson that a lot of the internet needs to learn. Not every announcement needs to be, especially one that doesn't even
take the place of anything, right?
Tencent is making this. So if Tencent is making this is
Pokemon
not taking the place of anything
franchise.
else.
It needs to cater to my whims.
Fuck you, Seth.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Seth.
Muzzy, you're right though, because that's the thing too. Why are they making this? Why are they wasting their time on this? Well, because one, MOBAs are pretty big. I know they're not at their peak anymore. It's a little late on it, but also them making this game. Guess what? Game Freaks has nothing to do with this game.
Nope.
So it's not taking away from those other games you wanted or hope that come in the future. Those games are not going to take longer to come out if they do happen because this game exists. So shut the fuck up.
It's just a completely separate, and especially as free, it's so easy to ignore, right? I ignore games I don't care about all the time.
Well, they got us all hyped up for no reason. You got yourself hyped up for no reason, motherfucker.
All they said is, hey, tune in for a big project next week. And then they went silent for a week. Is that hyping things up for a week? I don't know.
Also, they have 5 million different other Pokemon games to play, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and that's the weirdest thing too, right? Because like Diablo Immortal, I think we clowned on a lot of people who were mad about Diablo Immortal 2 years ago as well, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I want to give the slightest credit to that reaction. At least that was the first Diablo announcement in years, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think
So
the problem with
Diablo-
that announcement was that it was at the end of the conference, right?
Yeah, and it was the end of the conference, right? It was the big closer, and people had wanted Diablo 4 for a long time, right? And that was the first piece of Diablo news we got in so long that, in a way, it kind of makes sense that people would be mad, right?
Mhm.
Sure.
We are fucking swimming in Pokemon games.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
swimming. Pokemon Sword and Shield, a brand new generation, just came out last year. We're getting 2 major pieces of DLC for that. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon came out at the beginning of the year. We're getting a new Pokemon Snap game.
Yeah.
There are
we're
way too
just-
many Pokemon games.
We are just swimming in these games that just yet another spin-off. Why does that upset you?
I don't understand.
But I guess these are the same people who watched the last week's presentation, saw the Pokemon Smile app, and also got mad at that. So,
Oh my god.
What are
They
you
hate
gonna
teeth.
do? They hate teeth. Don't brush your teeth. That's what Pokemon fans say. Alright, enough about Pokemon. I'm done. We are
Until next
moving
week.
on to not Nintendo stuff, believe it or not. I know we talked a lot about Nintendo, but Crash Bandicoot 4. We briefly touched upon the leaks last week. It got fully revealed. It's called, just like last week we said, it's called Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. It's coming to PS4 and Xbox One. Will be playable on the Series X as well, through backwards compatibility. We don't know if it'll be playable on PS5. It's not coming to PC. It's not coming to Switch, which kind of sucks. I'm going to assume Activision's pulling their usual, here's a port a year later, kind of deal. That's not fun, but that's all the game itself, because we saw plenty of footage, right? Between the trailer, there was a 3-minute unedited gameplay clip. Well, there was edited, actually, sorry. I don't know why I call it unedited. But 3 minutes of pure gameplay, I should say.
Mhm.
And there was gameplay interspersed throughout an interview that Jeff Keighley did. And in that interview, we also just heard more details about the game, right?
Yeah.
What are you guys' general impressions about this game? I mean, I think I'm clearly the biggest Crash fan here, so I have a lot to say, but you guys have any thoughts?
I thought it looked really good. I liked it a lot. I'm actually looking forward to playing it now because, I mean, I was already looking forward to playing it anyway, but yeah, I mean, it looks very solid. It looks like what I want, in terms of if they're making a brand new Crash game. So I got no complaints here.
Did they mention anything about microtransactions?
No. I mean, it does seem like to be a single-player game. They did, in an interview, they teased some multiplayer elements, probably a separate mode, right?
Right.
But I don't think that the base... I don't think there's going to be any microtransactions with a single-player game, to be honest. Maybe I'm putting too much faith in Activision, but I really don't think that that's what this game is going to
Because
do.
I saw the pre-order bonus and I got slightly worried.
Yeah, there's a pre-order bonus of costumes, right? Alternate costumes for Crash and Coco. I think that's
Yeah.
fine. That's harmless,
Fair enough.
especially if it doesn't affect gameplay, right?
It-
I mean, this game. Sorry, go on.
I like how tongue-in-cheek it is. Like, I only watched the trailer and it was pretty fucking... fucking fun. Like, that comment, that little joke that they make, is like, how many times have you beat Cortex? It's like 3. I just completely ignore...
Like,
one of
just and the masses just 3. It seems like more than that.
Yeah.
Kind of just
That was very
nudge, right? Like, yeah, there's been more Crash games, but hey, this is Crash 4, baby, right? And I think that was a fun little thing that they did.
Yeah. So
Um,
it seems like a little... It seems like something that would be fun to play. And a little bit of a cheeky little game as well.
So from the leaks, I was a little hesitant on the new designs, but in motion, I think they look fantastic. I think this game is so pretty, right?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, the environmental design especially is just I think it looks better than the trilogy.
Yeah, it definitely does. And it seems like there's a good amount of variety in all the platforming you do. There's like a time stop thing, like you're throwing some energy balls.
So let's talk about the main gimmick of the game, I guess, right? There is 4 masks. They showed off 2 of them, and they kind of mess with time and space, and there's dimension hopping and stuff, right? And so the 2 masks that we saw, one can slow down time, and one can mess with gravity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those gimmicks, I think they're fun additions. I think they're not overbearing, right? They're only used. First of all, you don't always have them. They're just used for certain sections, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think they're very focused on like enhancing the platforming gameplay, right? Like it just gives you more stuff to do in terms of platforming, which I think is very cool.
Yeah, it makes the platforming more interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we saw you can play as Cortex in this game. Those are separate sections. So Crash and Coco are interchangeable. At any time, you can play as either Crash or Coco. They have the same exact moveset, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you also play as Cortex in certain segments of the game. And we don't know exactly what his role is. We know he's the villain. So he's not teaming up with Crash, like Twinsanity. But he is, we see him kind of like setting up platforms, right? He shoots out a little gun, and that gun creates a platform or whatever. So it's probably just a way to like, hey, play the same level but a different spin on it, right? I think it's probably content padding, but that's fine. I'm okay with that, right? As long as Cortex is fun to play as.
I don't remember Cortex teaming up with Crash, though. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I said he doesn't team up with Crash.
You said he did in another game.
Oh, in Twinsanity.
What
yeah, what's that? No, there's only been 3 games. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what's Twinsanity?
Yeah. You're just making shit up now, Muzzy. What the fuck, man?
My bad. Yeah, so that's that's there. And otherwise, though, it's like, I think a lot of people were also thinking, like, what comes next for Crash? What comes next for Crash, right? And I think the answer for a lot of people was, oh, well, to kind of justify being its own game, you kind of got to go in an open world direction, right? I feel like I saw that answer.
Thought that?
I saw that answer on the internet a lot.
That's dumb as fuck. Come on.
Toys for Bob, the developer, said, no, this is going to play like the Naughty Dog games. This is a corridor platformer, linear platformer.
Hell yeah. You even got running away sections.
Running away sections. A Crash Bandicoot staple, right?
I never really liked those sections.
Yeah, running towards the camera is always a little weird, but I enjoyed them. They shake things up a little bit. Gameplay wise, this looks like the Naughty Dog games, right?
Mm-hmm. Like it looks better.
Oh, well, yeah, fair enough. It looks better.
I personally prefer the older character models, like the ones in like the trilogy remakes, but the rest of the game looks better.
I think the environments definitely are a step up.
Yeah.
I think the environments are so it's more of a cartoony style, right? Mm-hmm. I think that just fits the world of Crash more, right?
Yes.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. The game looks great. It very much is living up to its name, Crash 4. I hope the game is good, because we haven't had a good Crash game in a long time. So I have high hopes for this. So far, though, so good.
Yeah.
And it's coming October 2nd, very soon. Like, not even 4 months out, right?
Fucking hell.
Can't wait to play this for the game club sometime.
Pretty good stuff. Okay, now I'm going to run through the next little pieces of news, because there's not much to really grasp onto. There was a couple events this week. There was a Avengers stream. They called it the Avengers War Table or something. We got a deeper look into the Avengers. I don't know if you guys had anything to say about that. I personally didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I watched it for a few minutes, and a lot of customization going on. And it still baffles me how they're really focusing on it's a game, it's a service, it's games of service or whatever kind of game.
Yeah, it is a game.
I don't know, man. I think that's just a weird decision. I can't say too much because the game's not out. Is it good? Is it not? Who knows? I heard the previews of the people who did play it said it was kind of not great. But game's still not out, so I'm gonna and obviously I haven't played it, so I'm gonna hold judgment. But I don't know. You look at games like Batman and Spider-Man, right? And those have set the bar for superhero type video games and licensed games as well, but just superheroes especially. And then you say, okay, well, you got the Avengers, the Avengers. That's fucking huge. I mean, the Avengers Endgame, biggest movie of all time, in terms of fucking sales. So, that's huge. The Avengers are big. And then you would think that they would kind of try to adapt more of that style of a game some sort of like single player adventure story driven type of game, but no, they're taking a weird direction. I don't know if I like it, but I don't know. The whole thing is just it's an odd choice to me.
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, they did make sure to show single player content, right?
Right.
They showed you playing a mission store, and they said like there's gonna be single player missions where you play as a solo hero, and it's all about that one hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the game is very much about its multiplayer elements, its online elements, right? And they're very big into customization, right? Every character
customization. They were going over and over again, like, oh, here's all the different suits you can wear, which is cool. I like that. You know, like, oh, you can wear these suits from all these different comics, and like that's neat. But then it's like, hey, like every character can be like how you want them to be. Like if you
gameplay wise, like you can put your own skills on there. Like they got all these skill trees. They got all these different set skills, and you can truly customize to make it your own. So your Hulk is different from my Hulk, right?
That's kind of dumb though, because if I want to play as the Hulk, I want to play as the fucking Hulk.
I mean, to me, that also kind of just tells me, hey, it's gonna take 7 fucking years to really level up your character.
I mean, yeah, that too. But like, you know, I think the characters should like each be unique and different, but they don't have to be like so customizable that like my Hulk's so different from yours. Like, I just want to play as the Hulk, man. I just want to smash the shit.
Yeah, I mean, ideally that means that even with the customizations, they still play true to the character, right?
I hope.
But who knows?
All right,
I don't know.
Make your bets right now. Is this going to be better or worse than Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3? Say it. No, you got to say it.
Oh, man.
See, I feel bad, but my gut says worse.
I'm going to say worse, probably, too.
Ultimate Alliance.
Like, at least Marvel Ultimate Alliance, it knows it's a low-budget garbage, right? And it revels.
It's not even garbage, though.
No, I don't even mean garbage, like, as in, like, the quality of the game. I just mean in terms of, like, you know, let's be honest, not many people worked on that game, right?
Wow.
But, like, you know, it does a lot with what it has, and, you know, it's just a fun little game. I like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. This just kind of feels like... Good. I mean, this is going to have a lot of your AAA bloat, right? This is going to have a lot... And I couldn't shake the feeling of just, like, watching the gameplay of just, like... A lot of it just looks kind of generic, you know? Like, I don't know. It doesn't really feel like you're, like, really making use of... It just looks like a very generic game with an Avengers skin, if I'm going to be honest with you. I saw a screenshot of one of the customization screens, and I swear to God, at first glance, I thought I was looking at a screenshot of Destiny 2. You know?
Oh, no.
And I was just like, that's not what I wanted in an Avengers game?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, God. I don't know. It's weird.
Comic-Con is crying right now.
And are any of you guys still genuinely interested in the game?
Yeah, I'm still interested. I mean, obviously, I haven't kept track of it, so I'm not really that invested in like all the bad press that you guys are talking about. But you know, if I play it, I'm just gonna go into it as clear as
open-minded as possible.
Open-minded as possible, I guess.
Do you what is it called? Shit. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Or just Safet, cut that part out.
Saf, keep it in. Keep it in, Saf. Don't let me get away with it.
Don't let me get away with that. So that's the Avengers game. It was. I don't know if it was a great showing, but whatever. It was there. There was also Cyberpunk showing. I personally didn't watch it. My apologies. I don't know if there was any big thing about it, but that happened.
That's another game that like I know I'm gonna play. So why would I try to spoil anything about it? Like, I need to know anything more.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say about Avengers. Yeah, with Avengers, by the way, you get the next gen version for free.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
just like Cyberpunk.
Yeah, just like Cyberpunk. So that's cool. And then I guess I should mention about Cyberpunk. They did give details about like how the next gen version will work. So basically, day one, you buy the game. It'll only come to PS4 and Xbox One, right? But you will be able to play it through backwards compatibility on both systems on day one, right? And they will release a small patch, not a big one, but a small day one patch that basically immediately right off the bat, the next gen version is gonna look prettier and run better, right? So it'll be the same game, high resolution, high frame rate. Cool, right?
Yep.
Then the real next-gen version comes next year, 2021, built for the ground-up next-gen version. And on both platforms, you are entitled to that upgrade to the next-gen version for completely free, no extra charge. But that it should be noted, the next-gen, real next-gen upgrade is not coming until next year. So, that's that.
Weird. Also, where they announced, and this isn't video game news, but I guess it kind of relates. There's going to be an anime for Cyberpunk.
Oh, yeah, by Trigger, right?
By Trigger Studios. So, yeah, they worked on Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill.
It's called Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Coming to Netflix in 2022.
Also, speaking of anime, the world is not... Or no, the world's not enough. The World Ends With You.
The World Ends With You is getting an anime. It's getting revealed next week.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, man. Just make a part 2, for fuck's sake.
The World Ends With You, the animation, we're gonna get details at Anime Expo on July 3rd on YouTube and Twitch.
Is it just gonna follow the story of the game?
We don't know. We'll find out in 7 days.
Fuck.
Yeah. There's a countdown timer on their website because Square Enix loves countdown timers.
Maybe it'll be like Danganronpa, and we'll get the anime will be the second game.
A continuation of the story.
Oh my god.
That would be something. That would be something.
And if it's like Danganronpa, the anime, it's going to be really bad.
And then finally, there was a New Game Plus Expo this week. Basically, a bunch of Japanese games, a bunch of weeb games, to be real.
Wow.
Were shown off, including East 9 got a localization announcement. Suda showed off gameplay of No More Heroes 3, but he blocked most of the screen.
What a legend. What a fucking legend.
That was kind of fun. But a brand new game that was actually of interest got announced, and that is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. So Curse of the Moon was the pixel art style, in the style of the classic Castlevania 1 through 4, or 1 through Rondo Blood, I guess.
1 through 3.
Style of game.
1 through 3.
It's more like 3, basically.
Yeah, but mostly like 3. Yeah. That's getting a sequel. And that game was super well received, so cool to see that get a sequel. Right?
Yeah, it's a really good game.
And the sequel has like all new characters.
Yeah.
It's not the guys from the original.
So good stuff with the Bloodstain. So cool. Yeah, and that was basically all the news for the week. Unless someone has anything else to add, last minute.
That's it. That's the week.
Well, we can't close the podcast before we do one last thing. That is the list.
The list!
Jesus!
He was really mad about it. After he didn't even partake.
Yeah, Brandon made up for both of them, I guess.
I partake, it's just Brandon was too fucking loud.
I didn't even hear you, Sam.
I didn't hear you at all.
Yeah.
You gotta get fucking excited for the list, okay? I don't know if
that was excited. That was whatever.
Yeah,
so you can follow us along in the paste bin below. Basically, the list every week. This is our closing segment. We have an ever-growing list of games, and we add a game every week, and we rank it against every other game that's been added. I would say once it's added, their placement is final, but we also do re-ranks every now and then, because sometimes we make mistakes. Don't worry about that. Just follow along. Mm-hmm. So yeah, check out the placement in the description below. Last week, Brandon, you added Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, and that got to number...
86.
So this week, Saf, it is your turn.
Yep.
Once again on your turn, Will is not here. What will you do?
Very conspicuous.
I will add something not related to anything that we talked about at all. Gunman Clive.
Whoa.
Hey.
Yo.
What is Gunman Clive, Saf?
Gunman Clive was originally a 3DS game. A very, very simple 3DS game. Pretty short, but effectively the theme or the goal of that game is that you're a cowboy in this kind of futuristic western setting, and all you have to do is chase off some bandits who kidnap the mayor's daughter. It's a platformer, and I guess it's a shooter, a 2D
It's
action
a Mega
platform.
Man
It's an action
style.
platform. Yeah.
It's kind of like a Mega Man thing, but it isn't that.
Yeah.
Well, but the art style is pretty like simplistic, kind of like gets that old kind of like dusty Western style feel to it. The music is also reminiscent of the old Western style music. It's pretty well made, and it is a pretty solid little simple platformer. Re-released on the Switch, released on the Wii U, Switch, and I think PlayStation 4 as
Probably PS4. I'm not 100% sure.
yeah.
But
It was part of like the HD collection, so like
yes.
if you
Yeah,
wanted
it came to
to,
PS4 as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
came to
wanted
PS4 last month, believe it or not.
Oh my god!
Just recently.
Wow.
Yeah. In forms of the collection with 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I think what was kind of neat about this game, well, before we talk about the actual gameplay, was this game was $2.
Pretty
Yeah.
fucking cheap, yeah.
Even the HD collection, I think, is like fucking like $4 or $5.
I think it's $5 and you
Yep.
get both games. And
Dude, it is fucking worth that $5. Let me
it's
fucking
worth
tell
it's
you.
worth the money. It's worth the cost of entry. I'll tell you that much.
Mhm.
It's definitely very stylish, and like it's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
kind of
it's very-
surprising too. Like with like the bosses that you fight, like in part 1 specifically, because that's what we're talking about. You go to a train car, and then it becomes a robot, and like
Yeah.
and then like the last boss is like you're in space all of a sudden. It's,
Yeah, I know.
it's sick.
It gets pretty wild and goes pretty out there, which is pretty fantastic. Like, it's quite an imaginative game, that's for sure. And
Yeah.
I really love how they kind of like blended those things, like trying to keep with like the old style fucking Western aesthetic, but also blending in all these future elements in there and just fucking crazy ideas. And crazy
Yeah, you get like
platforming
laser
ideas.
guns and stuff.
Yeah, laser guns, like fucking
Mhm.
gravity being affected as well in terms of like the
Mhm.
platforming. It's fucking solid as shit.
It's yeah, I mean, it's such a solid game for like how cheap it was. Like it makes other games that are that cheap look like a fucking ripoff, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Well,
it's very rare that you're going to get a game that is this cheap. And you know, to say that this game is not very long, you can beat it in like an
40 minutes.
hour
you know?
or two. Yeah, but if you take that aside, just looking at it as a pure fucking video game, it is a well-made game that plays extremely well. Like, there's not a lot of bad things you can even say about it, other than that it's short.
Yeah, I honestly, I feel that's the only criticism you can lob at it, right?
The
Even
one
then-
other thing. The one other thing I would say against it is that sometimes it's hard to see incoming projectiles because everything's so brown.
Yeah, the
Oh,
art
yeah.
style does, in the first game in particular, which is the game I'm talking about, I think, like, sometimes things can blend together, right?
Yeah.
It is like a very simplistic, stylistic for sure, but like, sometimes it makes it hard to see exactly what's going on.
Yeah, I love the art style, but in this one, I wish there was more variation, like in the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't they make I will say the second game is better. I think they made
Much.
the bullets like red and you can see them, and there's a lot more like variation in like the levels, like of what you do, like in the second game.
The second game is like really, really good, like way better than this game.
There's like a fucking Star Fox level. There's a level where you ride on a panda, like,
Mhm.
and shoot 'em ups, and like it's just crazy. It's
Mhm.
like second one's really good, but the first one, no, still is solid game.
Yeah, and multiple playable characters. You can play as
Yeah.
the mayor's
Mhm.
daughter. You can play as a duck. It's
The
kind of a
fucking
joke
duck,
character.
man.
That's like an
Rubber duck.
unlockable, I think, like after you beat the game.
Yeah,
Isn't he
So-
the bad guy? Spoiler alert for a 30-minute game.
yeah. Spoiler alert.
So,
Well, you only
Seth,
find out in part
where-
2, but yeah.
Where are you thinking of putting it, Seth?
The problem is like there's the top 100 is a fucking.
It's
list
too
of-
good.
It's too good. Yeah. So I want to put it above. I want to put it above. No, not Pirates Curse. I put it below Pirates Curse.
Pirates
Wait.
Curse is number 98. Shantae and the Pirates Curse.
Oof, God.
That's a little
Wait.
too high for me. Which particular? I'll tell you just exactly what my sticking point is.
Go on.
Immediately, Untitled Goose Game. I think Untitled Goose Game is also a very short experience, right? But it is longer. It is more expensive, granted. But I don't know. The joy I got out of Goose Game is a lot more than I like Gunman Climb a lot. It's a very good game, and a lot of these games that we're talking about in this area are still very good, right? I don't know. I think Goose Game's a better overall package, and I do think like we say like we don't want to rag on it too much for being short because it's so cheap, but it is a very small game, right? I think that is fair to kind of lob against it. Like, there's not that much there. What's there is great. There's just not much there.
If on the game club of the Untitled Goose Game, we actually had a lot of those same criticisms. Not a lot there, but what is there is pretty good.
Yeah, and I feel like Goose Game had higher highs. Just at least in my opinion.
Okay.
Should re-rank Goose Game.
It's a little too low.
Like a little bit, not.
Yeah. A little too low. I don't know. What do you guys think, Brandon Mills?
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you.
So where do you want it? Like below Goose Game?
I don't know exactly where Goose Game, but definitely below Goose Game. So directly below that is a weird. How do you compare Gunman Climb and Xenoblade Chronicles?
Very odd.
It's a fucking incredibly odd coupling. Yeah.
You're stuck on a distant planet on both of them, right?
Yeah, I don't really know.
You're not stuck on a distant planet in Gunman and Clive.
I don't know. Feels like you are.
You as a player, but
honestly, I'm also looking at Elite Beat Agents, and I would put Elite Beat Agents above Gunman Clive.
Dark and Possessed.
I mean,
these are still really good games. It should be noted, right?
Even like Winback and Mystical Ninja.
Okay, so we're going down. Down. Castlevania Bloodlines. Talk to me about it.
I don't know. I think I still am okay with putting it underneath Untitled Goose Game, but yeah, I could also be talked into putting it lower too. But
I mean, man, Super Mario Bros. 2. That's
I think I'd put it above Super Mario Bros. 2. I don't know. I don't.
What were you gonna say about Super Mario Bros. 2?
I'm not relitigating this one. No.
What were you gonna say?
No, I think Super Mario Bros. 2 is a better game. I don't know. I think there's a lot more going on in Super Mario Bros. 2. Do
you think Gunman Clive's better than Fire Emblem Fates?
I mean, Fates is a very problematic game. But I still really like it overall. I don't know.
It's a solid game, but there's still problems with it, yeah.
It's so hard. Like, I don't have a good mental picture of where I should put these super short experiences, Because it's just like, there's a lot good there. There's not much to complain. And I don't like to, criticize games for being short.
So what do we actually value, then? Like, here we go. What do we value in a game? Realistically.
The experience. I want it below Cave Story. And you can move Untitled Goose Game later.
Oh, so we're going back up.
Yep.
Doop.
So experience was enough that was enough of an choice.
Okay, I mean, that definitely should go below Cave Story. That's 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
And I think it's better than Sonic Generations. And I also think it's better than a lot of the games below it.
Yeah, it's just Goose Game's my sticking point. But if we're gonna, I don't know if we actually will move Goose Game later.
I'm receptive to a conversation.
Okay, all right. Let's put it below Cave Story. I'm cool with that. Saf, Brandon?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm okay. I don't hate that. Yeah, that's
it's
fine.
better than the other place your suggestions on. With that compromise.
Okay. Yeah, Cave Story though. That's a game we definitely should not put that above Cave Story. Cave Story is an incredible game.
Watch me say Watch we say, hey, Will, we had a gunman Clive. And he goes, son of a bitch!
Every game's a problem with that guy. We should no longer give him consideration.
I never did.
If you miss 30 episodes in a row, I'm just saying.
You would know.
I would know. Yeah.
Speaking from
and there was
experience.
plenty of games in that time where I wasn't to rank, but did I complain? No, I did not.
Did you? I don't remember.
The only one I complained about was Smash Ultimate, because come on.
Yeah. Well, Noah made
that good, though. Yeah.
And you guys
Alright.
did nothing with that.
If you made it to the end of the podcast, I thank you. We appreciate you. We are here every week. Brandon, you want to plug people? In the meantime, I will think of a final phrase. I haven't had it in a while. I'm gonna treat myself. Okay.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Wow.
Treat yourself. King. So if you did enjoy the Jump Up Supercast, make sure that you check us out on your favorite podcast listening station or website or app or whatever you want to use. We're on SoundCloud, iTunes. We're also on YouTube. New episodes do go up every single Monday. And we also have another show called the Jump Up Supercast Game Club, where a new episode goes up every other Thursday, where we play a game. It's like a book club, and then we talk about it. We're currently playing John Wick Hex. It's a mouthful. And we actually just played Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Layers. That episode just came out, and in a little while here, John Wick Hex will be talking about that game. So give us a follow, a like, or a share, and feel free to let us know what you thought about. Are you mad about fucking Pokemon? And if you are, I'm just gonna say, go fuck yourself. But tell me to fuck myself back in the comments if that's how you feel. Hey, if you like what we do have a Patreon where for $1 a month you can actually get to talk to us on our Discord. We have a Discord. You can listen to live recordings as part of a reward tier, and also you can get to vote on and choose. Not really vote, but choose, and we raffle off one of the choices from our Patreon members as a game club game every round. So if you're interested in that, make sure we have a Patreon, and we appreciate everybody who supports us already. You guys are the best. And also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to stay up to date on everything Jump Up Supercast related. You can see when the episodes go up and all that. And also twitch.tv/Jump Up Supercast, where sometimes we play video games, sometimes we don't. Who fucking knows? But just follow us anyway. And Muzzy, take us away with the final phrase, and make sure it's nice.
Make sure it's nice. Oh boy. Well, I was about to go off against Pokemon fans.
Oh, do it. Fuck them. I don't care. Do what you want.
Do what I want. Okay. Look, this game does not affect you. You can ignore it. Okay, Pokemon Unite. Why does it offend you? You don't have to play the game. It doesn't affect the mainline games. You're good. Just let it go. Let this game exist. Maybe it'll blow up. Maybe it fails. Who gives a flying fuck? You don't need to, just because you're a fan of something does not mean you need to be hyper engaged about every little part of the franchise. And if everything is not directly catered to you, then it's terrible and awful, and the world is exploding. We have bigger problems going on right now, man. The world is literally on fire. Shut the fuck up. Goodbye.